Welcome, all my fellow clergymen. I am the Funeral Parlor. We gotta talk, alright? We absolutely have to. And, I'm actually currently sitting in front of one of the vehicles that are in this week's, this upcoming week's weekly update, which comes out tomorrow. I don't typically do these update videos, but the past couple weeks we actually had some decent ones. This one, not so much. This week is this week's prize ride is the Pegassi Infernus Classic, which you can get if you place top 3 in an LS car meet series race for 3 days in a row. It's a pretty good car, but we've got to talk about something else, which is there's no 3 times money on anything this week. There's only 2 times money. And here's what those 4 things are. We have 2 times money or 4 times money for GTA Plus members, which is Mr. Faber work, which you can get out of doing the car wash business, the Smoke on the Water business, and the Higgins Heli Tours business. I don't own any of those because I didn't have interest in getting them. Then you've got 2 times money on time trials, 2 times money on G's Cash, which isn't that bad, but most of the time the G's Cash comes up, it's typically like 3 times money, so double money is not terrible, but it's normally, I think, like 3 times money for the most part. And then a returning mode, which is stockpile, so like I said, a little lackluster as far as the week goes, but the fact that that's all we have, it just really goes to show me that they just don't care. And you would think that they would care, considering that, like, once GTA 6 comes out, there's not going to be a whole lot more content being made for this game. Now, I will admit that most of the online content creators will still make videos, but they're not going to be making it as much whenever GTA 6 comes out. And me personally, I was hoping that we would end this game's lifespan off with a bang, you know, having like awesome event weeks and whatnot like we used to. I remember back when it was like super popular, we used to have it where, you know, it wouldn't be just, you know, 2 times money. We'd have 3 times money too, and they would bring back modes, or, you know, simply put modes back that need to be added back. It's a little lackluster, if I'm being completely honest, because, you know, we're at a point in time where it's like, why can't we just have what we want? To be quite fair, the discounts this week aren't that great either. They have been the past like 2-3 weeks, but then this week comes by and it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to give you much of anything. So yeah, like, and then on top of that, most of the vehicles that are on discount, even with the discounts, are still not that great, and I wouldn't recommend buying any of them. Now, I'm not one to do update videos because, quite frankly, that's not what I do. I don't do update videos. I have never been one for doing update videos, so I'm not going to do that. But it, again, makes me upset that we're going down this path where, you know, oh, we had a few good weeks and now we're going back to this stuff. Like, the 4th of July event week entailed 2 cars that you could claim on the salvage yard, and now we've gone back to no claimable vehicles in the salvage yard. But even the 2 vehicles that we could claim, they had like, there's always 3 vehicles, but the 2 that you could claim, one of them, from what everybody said, is one that they always allow you to claim on July 4th for that event week. Then the other one was the Class A Yosemite. So it was just like, I don't really, you know, I don't really know. It's not my style, but it kind of sucks that, like, we can't at least have one every week. You know, I feel like a lot more people would be interested in the game if they did at least one. You know, it changes every week. At least have one every week. You know, I mean, I don't even do the robberies because, quite frankly, I don't like the fact that they're mini heists. You know, I want to steal a vehicle. I don't want to have to go through a heist process to steal a vehicle. And that's another big reason why I don't really like that. But, I don't know. I'm hoping that after this week we might get back to it. I'm assuming we're probably not going to, and a lot of people will honestly say the same thing, that it'll probably be a minute before we get another decent event week. Or maybe they're just doing it this week because that's what they do, but I don't know. I was hoping for something a little bit different. I was hoping for different discounts and whatnot, but it's obviously not the case. So I'm gonna cut the video short here though, because like I said, I don't have anything else to talk about as far as the event week goes. So I am the Funeral Parlor, and I will see you at the funeral.